All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bahashim Rachahak double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessing to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. And the title of this is Yes, Everybody Hates You. All right, and I'm speaking about so-called Americans, which are the Babylonians that the Bible speaks of, Mystery Babylon, all right, not the ancient one, all right. And this is in the context of the major BRICS meeting that is it's clearly a rebellion. Okay, the world is now in an open rebellion against the hegemony of Satan. All right. Now, when you hear about the seven-headed dragon, the red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, that is symbolic and representation of all of America, the NATO, the EU, all of their cronies, and everybody with them. That'll, you can include Australia in that, even though they're far from America. Those are Edomite colonies, all right, and they are in bed with the West, Canada, all right, and they descend from one of those 7 heads or 10 crowns, okay, and what you have now is they're getting ready to do what's pursuing to Revelation, the 17th chapter, okay, where it says, "These shall hate the whore and burn her with fire." All right, now the whore of Babylon is America, okay? And what are the nations doing right now? They're at a BRICS summit, which all but out of 180 nations, all but 40 of them have decided to side with the BRICS. Now, China, I didn't realize this until earlier today, but the rhetoric for China is urgent. Okay, not only are they preparing for military drills over there, but they're preparing. They say they need urgently for people to dump the dollar, basically. Okay, they've been de-dollarizing for a minute anyway, but they said it's urgent now. We got to get out of these treasury bonds. They see something that's getting ready to happen. They probably, they have spies. They know, man, that they need to get out of the dollar. Even Putin was going in on that, saying the very same thing, because what did they have to do at that BRICS summit? They couldn't even get to the summit without converting it to the US dollar. All right, so Putin was telling everybody there that you will not be able to use the dollar there. You'd have to convert your dollars to rubles or whatever. All right, because they're getting ready to back their new currency by gold, and it's all in the open, man. All of your people have left you. Dubai is going to join now. Dubai is crazy because they take after America, man. They're like the New York City of the Middle East. All right, not the Dubai the country, but like you got Abu Dhabi, those cities, and, wherever the Burj Khalifa is, that's modeled after what? Esau, Edom. All right, and the New York cities and Chicago city skylines, and they're like, no, we're gonna go with bricks. Saudi Arabia did the same thing. So everybody hates you people, man. When people think about the West, they think of like low, stupid, backwards people. All right, because most nations, when you go overseas, man, they speak 2 languages. Okay. Most of the time it's English and their native language, but a lot of times it's their native language and the language of the neighboring country, that they can speak. So when you come here to America, they got no shortage of footage of you Americans on the internet, on YouTube or wherever, just straight up making a fool of yourself, man, clout chasing. All right, they see you electing the same wicked people over and over again. And that's gonna have consequences, man. All right, nobody's gonna be willing to help America. All right, when you are voting for people that's weaponizing the U.S. dollar. They've been putting sanctions on people for I don't know how long, man. Okay, and what they're trying to do is to get their people to turn against their own government. All right, because they're trying to get the government in line. That's the intention of sanctions. But what happens is, when you oppress people, that has a tendency to make them stick together more, not turn against one another more. All right. When people can't eat, man, they gonna want the problem to end. Okay. And so all of these sanctions that they're doing over there in Iran or Russia, it's all backfiring on them. Putin is more popular than ever after the sanctions over there, okay? And it's not just going to be the government's, spy games, the governments against governments, the other people, the other nations, they're going to look down on you people, man. You're going to be made a laughing stock. You really already are, okay? But countries are careful not to disparage you too much. Why? Because as of this moment right now, they still have to convert their currency into U.S. dollars. And I believe that China is afraid of a Donald Trump presidency. I believe that they believe that he's going to win it. Now, we're going to have to see, because Esau, I believe he would win it if you were to let it go, if you were to take it to a true vote. But we don't know that that's going to happen. All right. And we don't know what the fallout's going to be if he doesn't get elected, knowing that he would have won. All right. But China, I believe, is leaning towards Donald Trump is going to get elected, and his rhetoric against China is crazy. He's talking about 100% tariffs. Okay, he's like, you don't want to use U.S. dollar, we're going to do 100% tariffs, not knowing this stupid idiot. Okay, China has been the one buying up all of your treasury bonds, man. The only reason the U.S. dollar is as strong as it is because the yen over there in Japan, all right, is super low. It's really bad. You don't just get value out of thin air like Esau make you believe, man. When you print money out of thin air, it has no value. So you have to ask yourself, why is the U.S. dollar been so strong? It's because it's at the expense of other countries. You ever wonder why you can go to another country and $1 is like spending $20? That's because, the currency difference is depressing the economies around the world, and it's propping up the U.S. dollar artificially. The dollar really isn't worth that, but still, you go to Puerto Rico, you can get 20 times the amount that you can get in America for the same money. But that's getting ready to go away. The nations are like, we're tired of this, man. We're making Nike tennis shoes for $1.50, and we're watching you sell it for $200. Okay, and then you come around and put sanctions on our country. So the people are fed up with this shit, man. All right, and after a while, you can't say it's your elected officials. There's only so many times you can vote the same wicked demons in power before the people they're gonna put hands on you, man. And when America falls, the lights go out here, nobody's gonna feel bad for you Americans. When you read Revelation, the 18th chapter, they're not wailing and weeping because the people are dying there. They're wailing and weeping because, their money got taken, man. Their opportunity to get paid is gone now. Okay, that's why they're going to be weeping. But they don't have any love for you people, man. All right, and you Americans are despicable people, man. You're some of the worst people. Well, you are the worst people in the history of the world. All right, because you support the worst nation that the Most High created. All right, how do you idolize a base man? It ain't just like you tolerate him. Y'all idolize a base individual that does done nothing but steal things, man. Got everything by violence. All right, that's reputable. Okay, has no integrity at all. All right, a complete hypocrite. All right, you can't have nukes, but we gonna hold 5,000 of them. All right, you see, we're gonna believe in democracy, but then we'll set up a dictator over here so he can make sure that country's in line to do what we want. And everyone's tired of it. And so what's gonna happen? It's gonna the economic pressure is gonna get bad. I'm telling you. And Europe is about to feel it first. Europe is about to feel it. Okay, right now, Putin, like Europe can still get energy from Russia indirectly through like India right now. I believe India right now, like they got a sanction where Putin can't sell it directly to them for cheap anymore. So it's basically he's selling it to India, and then India is turning around and selling it back to Europe. But India is getting paid off of it. So by the time it gets back to Europe, those energy prices are crazy, man, for that oil, that cheap Russian gas, all right, that they had. But eventually Putin is going to say, Listen, we're completely cut off from the U.S. dollar now. We've switched over to a new system. They're done with SWIFT. If you look up what SWIFT is, which is our current U.S. dollar-based transaction system. All right. He said we're done with that. And once he's done with that, you got to ask yourself, why would he have to sell you anything? Okay? He don't have to sell you a goddamn thing. Now, keep in mind also, the sole source of uranium for America is Russia. Think about how crazy that is. We use uranium for nuclear power here and nuclear weapons, obviously. And your only supplier is Russia, the person you got sanctions on, man. The people you got sanctions on. Your only supplier. Okay? That's why it says in Obadiah, man, that the nations that were confederate with thee have laid a wound underneath thee, man. You know? And that's very, very true. Russia has spoiled you already and you don't know it. China has spoiled you already and you don't know it. Okay? And when they get all of these other nations and the volume of US dollars in circulation, you know, that activity drops, it plummets, then guess what? Get ready for hyperinflation. It is not a goddamn thing the Fed's gonna be able to do about that. The only recourse they'll have is to completely start over with a new currency. That is the only way. All right. All of these different nations that are holding these U.S. Treasury bonds, they're out. They're done. You know, and they at this point know America's not going to pay it back because America is going to start locking in these U.S. Treasury bond rates for the low again, like they did in 2020. Man, they were buying up these long yield bonds. Forgive me if I'm talking over brothers a little bit, but basically those bonds, all right, for the longer period of time that they were issuing, they locked them in for 20 years instead of 5 years because the rates were so cheap. So they're trying to lock them in. Think about like a mortgage, where the mortgage rates are 1% right now. Well, you don't want an adjustable rate that can change in 5 years. You want a fixed one, so you can lock it in at that cheap rate just in case the interest rates go back up. That's what they were doing with the Treasury bonds. And so now the Fed is going to have to lower rates again, very, very, very cheap again, and lock in these super long rates like 20 years, 30 years. But nobody's going to be buying them, because everybody knows you can make a 50-year bond, man. They basically America's saying, give us 50 years to pay this back. Nobody's going to buy them. It's going to come a point, and when it comes to that point where even American companies, these people that currently buy them, they're not even going to be able to do it. All right, and you're going to have a market collapse. So this thing is getting ready to crack. It's getting ready to pop. Okay, because we're now in the information age, and y'all are showing y'all ass, man. Y'all don't know the mayor of your city. Y'all don't know how many moons there is in the sky. Y'all don't know nothing, man. All right, and y'all spending like drunken sailors, running up credit card debt when you don't have it. And your government's doing the same thing. So these people are seeing you as a mark now. All right. Salakia, Obadiah 1 and 7 is playing out as we speak. So we'll see how these things develop and how they respond and how Trump responds. When he gets if he gets in office to all of this. But we know we're there. So anyway, I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. On to the next. Shalom.